Hey everyone, this is Paul from ZenGengo, the digital language teaching and learning platform with 10 different assignment types for the 4 language skills of listening, speaking, reading and writing. In this video, I'm going to explain how to create lessons. So I'm assuming that you have logged into ZenGengo and that you are inside the folder in which you would like to create the lesson. So first of all, what are lessons? Well, in ZenGengo, you can create assignments, lessons, and courses. A lesson is basically a sequence of assignments, and a course is basically a sequence of lessons. In another video, I explain how to create a course. But in this video, let's figure out how to create a lesson. So first of all, you should be in the folder in which you wish to create the lesson. And then you just have to select the assignments you would like to combine into the lesson. So I would like to combine these 5 assignments into a single lesson. And when I do that, I'll be able to give the students a single link, and the students will be able to work through each assignment in sequence. Okay, so once I have selected the assignments I want to combine, I can click on the Create Lesson button here. And then input a name for my lesson. I think I'll call this Lesson 1. After I did that, I have been transported to the Lesson Management panel, and I can see that my lesson is here, and I can then configure the lesson settings, I can preview the lesson, and I can copy the link to the lesson. Let me show the configuration options. If I click on the Edit button, I'll be able to change the name of the lesson. I can also assign other assignments to this lesson from the folder. Now, one important thing to note here is that an assignment cannot be included in more than one lesson at a time. So the assignments that you see on the left will be assignments that have not been put into any other lesson. And the assignments on the right are the assignments that are currently included in this lesson. If I want to, I can change the order of the assignments by dragging them up and down, and I can unassign by dragging from left to right. So if I'm happy with the order and I'm happy with the assignments inside this lesson, I can go on to the options section. Now in the options section, I can choose whether I want the order of the assignments in the lesson to be sequential or free choice. I can implement a time limit if I wish, and I can also specify an availability period. I'm going to leave these unchecked right now so I can show you what the basic lesson looks like. I'm going to go ahead and click on Save and go back to my lesson management panel. Now I can preview what the lesson will look like to the student by clicking on the eye icon here. Now I have to input my name to start the lesson, and then I will see this screen. So this is what it looks like if you have chosen the sequential option, which is the default option. The student will have a start button and they will start, and then they will go through each assignment in the lesson in sequence. So the first assignment happens to be an audio recording assignment. This is a picture of a girl holding some balloons. And when the student has finished, they click on the next button. So usually the next is called a submit button when it's a single assignment, but when the assignment is part of a lesson, it changes to a next button. Okay, and they can see their feedback and click next again, and that will take them to the next assignment in the lesson, which happens to be a video recording assignment. Now, if the student happens to leave the page and then come back, and the same student comes back, they will be asked to confirm if they wish to continue a previous attempt, because the system has recognized another attempt with the same name. So the student will be able to continue where they left off. Now I mentioned before that there are some options for lessons. So let's change from sequential to free choice. Okay, and click Save. And if we go back to the lesson, we'll see that it is now a free choice of assignments. So we can see the assignment that I've already completed is checked off, and the others I can choose whichever I want to do at that particular time. So that is the free choice option. We can also implement a time limit. Now the time limit is only available if we have a sequential mode checked. So let's go back to sequential mode and then check the time limit on, and let's set to 5 minutes. That means that the student will only have 5 minutes to complete every assignment in the lesson. Okay, I'm going to click on Save and go back to the lesson. Now I can see that there is a 5-minute timer available for this lesson. If I click on Continue, I will see at the top of the screen that the timer has started to go down. Now if I leave and come back, the system remembers how much time that I had remaining, as well as how many assignments in the lesson I had completed, and the timer will continue from that point. So the time limit is a good way to make sure the students are all given the same amount of time to complete the contents of a lesson, and perhaps it could also be used for testing purposes. Now I'm going to switch the time limit off again. I'm going to demonstrate the availability period. So this allows you to specify a range of dates and times when the assignment can be submitted. So today is September 10th, 2021. So I'm going to allow the students to submit any time from now up until 12 o'clock on September 9th to 12 o'clock on September 17th, which is next week. I click on Save, and if I go back to the lesson, I was able to access it without problem because I'm currently within that time period. And what happens if the student tries to access the lesson outside of that period? Well, let's set this to a past date. Let's say the date started on the 3rd of September and ended on the 4th of September. Now if the student tries to access the lesson, they will see that it is no longer available, and the system tells them when it was available. Now, a few more important points about lessons. Lessons are sequences of assignments. So if you delete the original assignment, it will disappear from the lesson. So please be careful about deleting assignments if they are already included in lessons. The other thing to note about lessons is that the student submissions will go into the assignments panel. Okay, so whenever a student, if this assignment is the first part of the lesson, then the grade for that assignment will go into the assignments panel. So to check the grades for individual assignments in the lesson, you should look at the assignments panel. However, there is another option to check the grades for the lesson. If you click on the cog icon, you can view the gradebook for the lesson, and this will show you all of the grades for the assignments within that specific lesson. So that's an easy way to see whether a student has submitted all of the assignments within a particular lesson. It's also possible to export lessons to share them with other users, to show a QR code so the student can easily access the lesson from mobile devices, and it's possible to switch the lesson on and off. So if you switch this option to off and the student tries to access the lesson, we will see this warning that the submissions are currently turned off for this lesson. Okay, thanks very much. That was a video about how to combine assignments into lessons using the ZenGengo platform. Thanks for listening.